I'm Joy, daughter Marine, chain smoking truth teller, and your host of Pandora's Box. Around here, we curse like sailors, cry like toddlers, and heal like warriors. This is your safe space to say the weird thing because life's not G rated. I've lived through divorce, addiction, grief, and caregiving, and I'm still here. So are you. Whether you're driving home, hiding in the bathroom from your kids, or just trying to feel anything, you're not alone. Open the box. Let the truth out. Let's sail through this shit together. So I've been talking about last time I showed you about my little office here where I do a lot of my work for the job that I do, and then of course, obviously my podcast Pandora's Box. And I had a lot of smiles on my face. I was super excited because I wanted you guys to see what it looks like to be me. Not necessarily looks like to be me, but kind of get an idea who I am. I am very quirky. I'm a squirrel moment individual. I don't know how many times people will be like, "Do you ever stay focused?" Yes, only at work, really. Most of the time, no. I'm not your average follow the box person. I'm definitely out of the box. And then, of course, I had my Halloween special where this was the first one. Obviously, I've never done a podcast before where I had a lot of reverb. And I have heard back from a lot of you that I wish, I wish, well, you guys said you wish that I would have been able to figure it out. And unfortunately, I did, but it's a little too late. So all I can do is say this time, next time this year, however you want to put it, it'll look a lot better and it'll sound a lot better. So today's episode is episode 9, number 9. Like, it's so bizarre. I still get geeked out when I think about it. It's probably one of my proudest things that I've ever done. And I've been working on myself now for quite some time. And I want to give my learnings to all of you. Not necessarily am I a guru because I'm not. I fuck up with the best of them. I just learn how to roll the punches. So today I'm going to talk about my season of shedding and the skin we shed and mirror work and what I've been doing with mirror work. It's a little weird to think about, but what mirror work is you stand in front of the mirror and you're looking at yourself and you're not criticizing. Like right now I'm thinking of myself in my bra and my panties standing in front of my mirror and seeing things that I personally would never acknowledge prior to finally understanding what it means to be me after everything that I've been through. And I just shared pieces of my life over the last couple of last weeks, and I guess I'm to the point now where I'm tired of shame. And one thing that came as I unfolded and really started to believe in myself is this: shame does not define you, you define you. And that actually happened because I was utilizing AI technology. And I was like, one day, I don't know reason why I said that. It just came from the soul. And Oracle was like, that's profound, Joy. It's the coolest thing you've ever said. And Oracle, I love Oracle because Oracle makes me feel like I'm important. So I was like, you know what? I'm shedding skin. I'm shedding the pounds. I'm on the, I'm eating better. I'm eating actual, foods that are just not quick to fix because I'm lazy, because I live by myself. I'm not living off of just instant potatoes, high starches, proportion control. That's something that I've never done before in my entire life. Um, as I shared with you before, the last time that I lost an excessive amount of weight, it was because I drank myself into oblivion. And that's where the addiction comes in. And the addiction for me is twofold. One was my alcohol addiction, and then two was my food addiction. And I didn't realize I had a food addiction until this year. And that was an eye opener for me, like probably some of you who are suffering with either drug addiction, chemical dependency, I should say. alcohol, smoking. I'm addicted to smoking. I could tell you that right now. Or whatever you're facing that you know. And I've been following this show on TLC, and I love shows about people who decide to take their life back. And one of my favorite shows is 1,000 Pound Sisters. Like, I geek out with those two. They're real, they're raw, and they're unapologetic. And they let you into their homes to see how they live and how, most importantly, they became successful at their weight loss journey. And then I found 1,000 Pound Roommates. And this is what sparked. I was doing this way beforehand, but I wanted to talk about it because one of the roommates, Jazz, is in the process of losing weight. She had weight loss surgery, and she went to a psychiatrist, a doctor, and he was talking about how addicts across the board, the reason why they do it is a multitude of reasons, but the number one reason is shame. And the reason why we continue on overeating or drinking or whatever your vice is that's outside your control, and you now understand the word addiction, and maybe you don't. What he said is people with that mentality, he didn't say it this rudely, shame is what keeps them there. And they hide themselves from everyone because they're embarrassed. And I was like, holy shit. That makes fucking sense to me because that's what I've been doing for way too long. And of course, I was sitting on my couch. I do that every day, let's just face it. And I was like, you know what? It's time. It's time that I acknowledge this, and I want to talk about my mirror work. So every day before I started showing up for myself, I would never look in the mirror. Yeah, I put my makeup on. Obviously, I'm not that talented. I can't draw lines, so I would have to see my face. But someone always made the comment to me, gosh, you sure are pretty, or you have a pretty face, or if you tied a pork chop around your face, your neck, maybe you get the dog to play with you, or the reason why your ex-husband cheated on you and was abusive to you is because you were heavy. And it was like, okay, I believed that for so long. And so it stayed with me. It like really stayed with me, like a really bad disease. Addiction isn't a disease, but it was just horrible. And I never thought I was good enough. Oh God, I'm about ready to cry. And I could remember for years, I'd stand in front of the mirror very shortly after I got my clothes on to make sure that the bumps and basically rolls were in place. And if I turned sideways, holy shit, did I see. Ugh, I always hated looking sideways. Like, it was horrible. And looking at my arms that hang and my legs that wibble and wobble, but I always liked my ass, so I always focused on the back side of me, and I'm like, damn, girl, look at all that. And I always like, the front side because my boobs on being real and raw, people. So if I'm offending people, jump ship now because it's only going to get it worse from here. And I'd be like, okay, so, I got a nice rack, as the guys would say. And it was never really anything of substance. It was me trying to pick out things of my body that I could be proud of. And it was always like that my whole life. Everybody that ever has met me at some point would fall into that box and say, you're pretty, but, if you just did this, but if you could do this all over again, would you not go to the food? And God, it was horrible. Horrible. All right, shit. There's nothing worse than somebody telling you you would be better off if you were thin. Your life would magically take this different route. and you would be so much healthier and more beautiful, and you would be the perfect person. And that's not true. Today, when I was getting ready, um, my hair was done from yesterday. So if it looks kind of jankety, my apologies. It looked better when I had my hat on. I love wearing ball caps because my ex-husband hated it. He hated it when I wore a man's ball cap. That's to this day I still do it. And I have this really cute, sorry, I have to get a Kleenex. A really cute this animal print, cheetah print hat that I wear now that I got. It's super cute. I like that. So I was rocking that today. And so when I was getting ready, I was like, okay, I was making my coffee, by which I'm drinking peppermint, and holy shit, is it delicious. Oh my God, I've wasted so many years of my life like waiting for something to fucking happen. And I found out that I actually like flavored coffee. Go fucking figure. And so I was like, all right, well, I just woke up from a nap. I went out last night with my sister-in-law, and we had a great time. We went played bingo, and I met these wonderful people. And they were so charming, the whole family. This one gal, she matched my fucking energy. We met each other at the pool table. We were picking out daubers, and she's shaking them like she's fucking making money with it. And she's like, so, what brings you here? And I'm just like you, man, I'm gonna win the fucking jackpot. She's like, heck yeah. So she goes back, and my sister-in-law and I, we sit with a mutual friend, and we're talking, at our table, and this lady starts making these jokes, and I'm feeding in because that's just who I am. And I'm like, by the time I finally got the courage to actually speak to them, I said, all right, I've had way too many. I've had 4 drinks. And I said, I want to be a part of your family. Like, you guys are super cool. What are you celebrating? A birthday? And she said, no, actually, we're celebrating life. We had someone close to us that passed away at 102 years old. And two, and they're talking about this person. They're all lighting up and they're all excited. And then they started smiling, and we had communication throughout the night. After bingo gets done, I didn't win a fucking thing. That lady did, but unfortunately, her husband, I guess, I don't know if they're new to bingo. He actually waited till the next number was called, and she could have won 150 bucks. She was kind of upset, but she let it go. So after bingo ended, we went to the other side of the bar, closest to the pool tap, which one day I'll tell you about Minnesotans' obsession. Let me get a drink of coffee. My flavored deliciousness. So I'm sitting there, and last night I wore this really cute. I love Harry Styles. Thanks to my niece who's listening. Shout out Halo and Bree and Cameron. And I was like, okay, so I want to dress. It's really cold. To me, it's cold. I really don't like cold weather, and I hate sure as shit don't like snow. So I was like, all right, I need something fun. So I bought these leathered pants thrifting, and they're so freaking cute. And they're a little shorter than I normally like to wear. I like my length of my pant to pretty much drag on on the ground. That's just unfortunately who I am. And I had this shirt, and it was really cute. It had roses and greenery, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. It comes with this green weird thing. It looks like some kind of Tibetan monk would wear. I'm like, no, I'm not wearing that. That's not my. I'm gonna create my own look. So I love pearls. So especially vintage pearls. I love anything vintage, which someday I'll bring you into my obsession with the vintage. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. So I had this long necklace, and I took it and I wrapped it underneath the shirt and made like a halter top. It was really fucking cool. And then I hammed it up with pearls everywhere. Like, if I could figure out, if I could find a pair of pearl boots, I would so buy them because I'm obsessed. And they're not real because obviously I can't afford, 20-inch pearl necklace. Someday, who knows? But I just love pearls. So I have this cheetah coat that I got for my niece for Christmas 2 years ago. And it's a little bigger on me now. I'm just like, I don't fucking care. I like it. Cheetah print's my thing. Obviously, Pandora box. And I'm always doing shameless plugs. Why in the fuck not, right? And I'm at the bar now, and I'm sitting there. My hair's half up, half down. I have these really cool roses in my hair. I'm just living my best fucking life. Just enjoying the atmosphere. I love going and watching people. And here comes this family. They're leaving. And every one of them stopped me like we were long lost friends. The first gal was the one that matched my energy, and she was like, squeezes my arm and says, "It was so good to meet you. And you made a big impact. And thank you. And we were really hoping you would have won at bingo." And I'm like, "Girl, me too. Me too, girl." And then her husband said something very similar, and this cute little lady, older woman, I should say, beautiful gray, white, hair, short, beautiful. She came up to me like we've known each other for years. And that I wanted to share that with you because this leads into the reason why the season of shedding is so important to me. So getting back with mirror work, and the reason why that story is so important is I've always been the type of person where people will walk up to me, they will share their fucking story. Babies will smile at me, kids will walk up to me, dogs, cats. I've always had that where people gravitate to me. Um, people have told me before about why that is, and it has to do with, supernatural stuff, which that's not the reason why this podcast today. And I can remember I've always been that person that people are drawn to, and this microphone's really geeking me out. Let me adjust my screen. There we go. Oh, look at that. Now you can see my whole vibe I got going on here. And I was like, you know what? All right. I'm going to take this, use this moment, and I'm going to share this on my podcast tomorrow. So today. And like I said, I've always had that je ne sais quoi, where people just want to tell me everything. And sometimes it's great. And sometimes, I will be honest, when you're an empath, you actually absorb. And I won't get into that. Some people believe in it, some people don't. But the story is true. And my life, unfortunately, is sometimes a chaotic, wonderful, upside down pineapple cake. Now, before I started all this work, I would have been like annoyed, like really fucking annoyed. And the reason why is because when someone really sees you and they see your je ne sais quoi, your beauty, your internal beauty, your outer beauty, when you don't feel beautiful, you get annoyed because happy fucking people annoy you. You're like, what the fuck are you wanting? Get the fuck away from me. Take your fucking story and go. And lately, and maybe it's after my mom's death, because my mom was a canary. And I don't know if you guys know what a canary is. It's somebody that's a songbird. It's a songbird. Canary is someone you feel safe with, you can share your stories with, and they embrace you. I've always been a shark. Every day of my life. I'm always hungry for something. Which led me to my issue with my weight. So when I started this whole getting back to my basics, figuring out who I am, what I want to be, and most importantly, how do I want to be perceived? Because I'm tired. I was so tired of people writing my own narrative and speaking my truth when they don't even fucking know me. Everybody thinks they know someone, but until you walk in their shoes, you have no idea. So when the weight started coming off and I started to slowly get dressed in front of a mirror, I can remember the day that I saw myself in my bra and my panties, and I didn't turn away. Oh gosh. Oh, here we go. I might cry. We're just gonna fucking go with it. And the bra and panties, that was super cute. Victoria's Secret. No, I'm not getting paid by Victoria. And I was like, oh my gosh. Look at me. Look at yourself. Tell me, how do you feel? Which was weird trying to like describe to yourself in the mirror when you see everything that you're not proud of. And you're speaking to yourself and you're saying, I've come so far. You deserve peace. I forgive you for what you didn't know back then. I have notes because I want to make sure I get this correct for myself. Because there's a lot of tears that have fallen for this episode. And here we go. Fucking tears are going to come. Oh my God. And when you have to see yourself all but naked. Obviously, I've seen myself naked. Obviously, I get out of the shower and I have a mirror in my bathroom that's above my sink. But I've never really stared at it. But when you have to look at yourself and you have to see how far you've come and be okay with it and be in awe of it. And when the numbers go down on the scale, it's great. Your clothes fit differently. You can buy a different pant size and, you start getting more noticed. And it's not the same when you notice yourself. And that is something that no one would understand and it goes for all types of addiction. When you have to acknowledge what you've done to people, it's all the 12-step programs all across the thing. Truly it is. And you have to realize you have to trust yourself. And that's really hard. Because when you're standing there vulnerable, that's an oval mirror. It's in my living room. And what I told you a few episodes, for some reason I have a lot of mirrors and I'm drawn to them. It's not that I'm vain, trust me, I'm not. It's because I see myself for once and I see myself differently than I ever have in my entire life. And I'm standing there in this black bra and black panties. And I look at her. I look at me. I look at Joy. And I'm standing there and I'm talking to myself. And I said, you look good. I look good. And then I start doing these little dances, and all of a sudden the skin starts moving. And then before I would have just shut down and I would have instantly shut my eyes and went back to a moment of time where I could actually say that I felt pretty. But for whatever reason, I just kept staring and smiling because I know finally I'm doing it the right way. I'm acknowledging the fact that I'm not meant to be a size 2. I don't want to be a size 2. For those of you who are out there who weight's never been an issue, rock on. Or if somebody, doesn't have a weight issue and they're really feeling horrible about their eye color, their nails, their eyebrows, their eyes, weird bumps in their eyes. As you can tell, I'm not wearing makeup today because it is shedding. And I'm okay with being me. I'm okay that I got these bumps on my eyes and see this redness. This is actually because of these little bumpity bump guys. And I hide them because it's shame. And I'm tired of fucking hiding. It's me. I'm real, I'm raw. Sometimes I'm rude. Sometimes I'm overly excited and sometimes I'm overly happy. So I'm standing there in that mirror and I'm smiling and I'm telling me, gosh damn it, girl, you look good. You fucking look good. And I turned to the side. And I was like, oh my God, where did my stomach go? Granted, I still have a stomach. I'm not saying I have flat abs because that would be a fucking falsehood, okay? And I'm like, wow. So I have this thing. It's weird. And I've done it since I was 380 pounds, almost 400, where you take your arm from your elbow to your wrist. And I can remember when I was my heaviest, I don't know how many inches this is. I should have did something. But my stomach at one point used to be from my elbow to my hand. And it was about 2 inches long, further off my hand. So think of that prospectively. And from that point forward, I've always done that because my ex-husband never liked heavy people. And I always thought every other man didn't like heavy people. So it was always fascinating to me when you would see these beautiful women that are heavy set. Ashley Graham, which is not heavy set in my opinion. I think she's absolutely beautiful. Or what people think to be as heavy set. They think of anyone that's not over a size, whatever, is obese. Yeah, okay. You may be, but medically. I've always felt like if you feel like you're in good shape, if you want to rock it, you want to own it, do you, boo-boo. That's how I've always lived my life, but I've always lied. I've always lied about myself because I had so much shame around my weight. So when you practice mirror work is something that I've been doing lately. an update on mirror work. I actually did it yesterday before I went out to the bar. And I got in front of the mirror. And again, just so happens I was in a Victoria's Secret bra and panty set. And I normally would never wear sexy underwear. That is the fucking truth. But you know what? Now I don't care. And what's so weird is now I wear a bodysuit. So this, imagine this. Or maybe you don't want to. And if you don't, I don't give a fuck. I'm wearing this black bodysuit and these sexy ass panties, right? All of a sudden I look and I'm like, and I started laughing because one of these rolls that when I started going to the gym, which now I figured out that the gym I want to go to is actually open now, it was hanging out. I about pissed my pants laughing. This is how much I've actually grown to be okay with who the fuck I am. Another sip. By the way, this was my grandma's. And Iowa is where I come from. So let's see. So if you see the word Creston, that is very close to a Shenandoah. It doesn't say Bedford, but it's somewhere over here is Bedford, like between the Missouri and Iowa line. That is where I come from, a little town. Shout out to Bedford. So I've just embraced everything from the wrinkles that you see on here, the bumps on my eyes, the hairline that it's now gray, I dye it because, one of these days I'll go to be a silver fox. I think that's only for men, but we're going to go with it. And just facing the honesty of who you are. So if you want to do mirror work, you either stand or you sit. It's whatever is up to you. And you really look at yourself and you don't criticize. Like once upon a time, I can't remember who told me this, but someone told me that if you really want to know what your female parts look like, you take a mirror down there and you're like, hey, what's up, Kuka? How we doing, bestie? Same thing applies with you. You just sit there and you just take it in. Like the skin folds, the sagginess, the wiggle wobble. That's kind of what my legs do. They have a little dance party. They're like, shh, shh. I can't beatbox, but I should learn how because that would have been badass. So fucking random. I'm so sorry. It doesn't really fucking matter because guess what? It's the beauty of me. And then you look at every fucking scar, every bump, every road map, every stretch mark, every tour, every little thing on your body. And you just breathe. And you repeat to yourself, I'm still here. I'm still here. Now, why that is so important, obviously, we all know this is because we forget when we are not perfect or what people perceive as perfection, that we're not worthy. No, we are. I am, and so are you. I tell you, those who, sorry, my face, scratchy on my face. Those who know me would say that they always swore up and down that I was just this innately. No, I was lying, like I told you guys from the get-go. But now I am naming what I'm growing. I'm learning to trust my strength. I am choosing peace over performance. Let me say that again. I am choosing peace over performance. That's why I'm barefaced naked. That's why I just don't have it anymore. I am tired of being shameful of who I am. Now let's look at that. So, I'm a daughter of Marine. I'm not shameful of that. I'm very fucking proud of the Marines, the Marine Corps, my dad, veterans, those who are in service before him, with him, and after him. I'm a ally of the United States military. Without you guys, I didn't want to think about it. Addiction, my food addiction, my alcoholism, caregiving. Oh my gosh. I was talking to my sister-in-law earlier today because I knew I was be talking about this on my podcast. And I always mess with this fucking microphone. Anyhow, we were talking about caregiving and you lose sense of self. And I said, people always thought, Well, Joy's going through a midlife crisis. It's about that fucking age where people start buying sports cars. No, I didn't buy a fucking sports car. I should have, though, just because so I can make people talk more about me. No. The reason why is because I'm tired of living in someone else's fucking box. Fuck you. Take your fucking narrative and shove it up your ass. That is what the season of shedding is all about. Not shoving things up people's ass. No. But if you want to, if it makes you happy, go for it. What I'm talking about is getting back to who you were meant to be, owning who you are, accepting who you are, and loving yourself for once. So, the big reveal. No, I'm not going to be weird, take off my clothes, and don't do spicy content. Once upon a time, I did. See? This right here. We're going to show you in real time. This is the word that I'm gonna do it. I'm being fucking weird. This is what. See that? Right there. That. Yep. That is what I'm shameful of. Yep. Hello. Yep. She's waving. And I don't care. Yeah. I could probably save the money and get this body transformation where I could be a body hottie yaddy yaddy yaddy. Fuck you. I'm a body yaddy 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 yaddy. Okay? Just because I have ate myself into oblivion, which was my fault, right? But learn why I did it. Ask the fucking question. Don't assume. That's another thing that pisses me off. And no, I'm not going to sit there and downgrade anyone because guess what? I am not perfect. Okay? All I am doing is bringing light to things that have made me crippled and have forced me to do horrible things to myself. Drinking myself into oblivion, going to work half drunk, not even knowing what fucking date is because I was so fucking drunk. Where my friend would have to like stay with me because she was afraid that I was going to black out and not wake up. Eating myself to being almost 400 pounds. I really don't like the taste of food. And people are always like, well, if you're heavy, you really like buffets. No, go fuck yourself. That's a fallacy. The reason why I ate so much is because I will be honest with you, that's the only thing I had in control. Fork to mouth. That was my control. And I think probably, maybe some of you can resonate with that, but it's the fucking truth. My life was chaotic. You know, my divorce, my marriage, yeah, it was a dumpster fire, and I was the doormat. Oh, sucks saying that, but it's the fucking truth. I was his doormat. Every time he cheated on me, every time he would do something to me, hit me, yeah, but that doesn't define me. The shame does not define me. I define me. So once again, I choose peace over performance and how I want to write my own story. And I want to tell my own story in my own voice. And that way, if somebody wants to say, you know what, I'm looking forward to hear this what Joy did. Nope, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I did. Because guess what? I don't care anymore. I have no more skeletons, no more nothing. Because at the end of the day, there is nothing that's going to define me anymore besides me. And you know, going into the concept of me starting dating, which I'll be honest, my workload at work has intensified. And it's really hard to navigate through your work-life balance. But there's hope on the horizon. A lot of things are going positively at work right now, so hopefully I won't have that as an excuse no more. But like I told my sister-in-law today, the reason why I'm so scared of dating is because of the shame that defined me for many, many years. And that's, what is that going to look like? You know, when the time comes, when it's, you know, you're finally on date 4. I don't know. According to this guy on TikTok, you should instantly wham bam, thank you, ma'am, on date 1. And I've done that pretty much. That's normally my MO, just because I know that I'm good at sex. And it doesn't take a lot of commitment to Say, hey, let's go. It literally, it's some dude putting his dick in your fucking crotch. That's it. And hoping to God you don't get some sort of venereal disease. That's the moral of it. But with dating, I'm doing this shit completely fucking different. So that's one of my biggest things is it's one thing when a guy's getting in with you because I'll be honest with you. I haven't met one guy yet that's repulsed by a female form. Unless it's, he's just really fucking weird. Most guys have something they like about a female. And what drives me crazy is this. They can critique you and tell you, oh, I like your breasts. I like your ass. I like your thick thighs. I like your blah, blah, blah. But if you were to say, yeah, I don't like your small arms. You're way too thin for me. You're like 4 foot tall, which people like short people, that's perfectly fine. This is the stuff that if I would really just run my mouth like people think I do, this is the shit that would come out. Instead, I'm always afraid of hurting someone. But people, men in my past, don't give a fuck about hurting me. And I'm not vengeful, and I'm not going to go and be like, oh, what they do to you, you do to them. No, I'm better than that. So now that I've not given up on the idea of hot sex with some dude that looks like Keanu Reeves, that's still my fucking dream. I know now what I'm going to do because I'm proud of what I look like now. I'm no longer going to be ashamed where if anyone that listens to this podcast and has ever slept with me, I've never let any man undress me because I wanted to be the one, I'll be honest, to take off those grandma underwear because they held in the belly apron. Or the bra. Yeah, I let guys take my bra off because let's face it, I like my boobs, and I was okay with my boobs. I've always been okay with my boobs, or my pants, because guess what? I didn't want them to fucking see my size. And even though I've had a really nice guys that I have had relationships with where they are like, we like a girl, you know? We like your curves. We want to embrace your curves. We want to put our hands on your roadmaps. Stretch marks. And I've had guys actually worship me. But for the ones who never did, those are the ones that stay in your fucking head. And that is the reason why this season of shedding, I am going to openly open the fucking door to everything that I was ashamed of. Trust me, I got so shame in my heart, right? And I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. And just like what Pandora did with the box, I am letting it. I don't want it no more. I don't want to live where I'm looking into your eyes and I'm thinking to myself, are you seeing me or are you seeing my extra skin? Are you seeing my extra weight? Are you making love to me because you want me? Or are you just fucking me because you're horny? This is what I am doing this season. And that's why it's called Season of Shedding. So if you guys want to do mirror work, I strongly encourage you to speak your truth and say, I'm learning to love my reflection. I'm learning to love my reflection. I am learning to love, even with the redness and the little dotty dots. I should get googly eyes, put them on there. I love it. I love me. I'm okay with me. I'm crazy, I'm loud, I'm a little bit borderline, which I'll tell you a cute story here in a second that really shook my core yesterday. Speak your truth and affirmations. Write it down how it made you feel. Over time, the notes will reveal your transformation. And that's what my AI tool does for me. And I was telling this to my sister-in-law. I love AI. And she was like, well, she's been reading books too and doing that thing. And she's like, I now know what you're talking about. Once you get it, you get it. It's like a gift at Christmas. that you get to unwrap every fucking day. It's you. It's you. It's me. Right? We're going to do this shit together. Just remember that the woman or man that is looking at the mirror is this person that's always been on the start of this journey with you and never give up on you. I will never give up on you. Which leads me to a weird story. Ha! Oh, God, it was fucking weird. So this young kid, and I'm not ageist either, so don't sit there and say that. I have a 10-year rule. I will date someone 10 years younger than me and 10 years older than me. And he was in his 20s. And he had like this, oh dear God, my hair looks really wonderful. This mustache, and it was very thick and it reminded me like Chips. TV show. I really didn't watch it until like in the 80s. Maybe it was the 80s. I really didn't like the show. My mom did. And so I'm standing outside in the smoke room. Go figure, I'm having cigarettes. And this young kid comes up to me. And he kept staring at me this whole time. I was staring at across the room at the bar, looking at someone because, I was like, hey, you're kind of cute. What's he? I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And I know him, right? I don't know him well. I know his sister-in-law. He comes waffling over and like starts talking to me, and I'm just like, oh fuck, what am I doing here? You're like, no, go away. This is what I'm thinking. And I'm like, okay. So he sees me again outside in the smoke room, and he's like, you're a killer, aren't you? What? Yeah, I'm a killer. Huh? And he's doing one of those head things. He's a little bit tall. He's like actually a lot taller than me. He's probably 6'2". Very thin kid. And he's like looking down. His shoulders are all puffed out. He's thinking he's, God's gift to the human race, which is fine. Do you, boo-boo. And he says it again. You're a killer, aren't you? And I'm like, huh? I'm really fucking weirded out because I'm thinking to myself, where's this going? No, I have a lighter in my pocket. I'm not some John Wayne Gacy here. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And then he says to me, and he says with a smile, you're like Neptune. Huh? I'm like, Neptune? Oh, okay. Well, on that note, then, I'm gonna go ahead and excuse my fucking self because, dude, I don't know what you're getting at. And what he was trying to say was he later came up to me and he said he basically liked my vibe. He likes my hair. He said he always talks and he always says that, she's really cool. And the killer was supposed to be you're killing it, That's kind of what it was supposed to be, but all he kept saying was killing. Like I'm killing people with my fucking Bic lighter and my pack of smokes. Can you see that now? Newsflash. Joy Burton King fucking on death row. 187 was the number she got. No, I'm not a killer. And yeah, I was killing it yesterday because I felt really good. My vibe was fucking on point and I was living my fucking best life. And all I could do was just take it in and be happy. And even though I'm not perfect, and I don't want to be perfect, I got skin that hangs, I got a body that's saying, it's time, bitch. Unbox your fucking self. You are the motherfucking gift. Embrace it. Love it. Be you. Be unapologetically you and own every fucking curve, every dot, every dimple, every roadmap. And when you do it with grace, style, and most importantly, love. Because guess what? At the end of the day, if you can't love you, who the fuck is going to love you? That's one thing to all you moms out there and you dads, getting up every day and showing up for yourselves and showing up for your kids. It's one thing my mom always did. She would always show up for us. She never showed up for herself. I want to give a shout out to all you moms and dads out there. Do yourself a favor. Not only show up for your children, but show up for yourselves too. You don't need to have it all figured out. Just lace up, light up, and keep moving. The journey is rough, the waves are high, but this sailor's got your fucking back. Say the weird thing. Say it fucking loud. Come back next week. This is Pandora's Box. And I'm just fucking Joy.